and not just to think about, well, my freedom is being kind of disturbed here. No, screw your freedom, because with freedom comes obligations and kind of responsibilities. We cannot just say, I have the right to do X, Y, and Z. When you affect other people.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Chase. They say never meet your heroes because they'll always disappoint you. And Arnold Schwarzenegger, one of my childhood heroes. I grew up with him, watching Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Dolph Lundgren, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Steven Seagal. I loved all of them. I grew up on that. I had older brothers. That's what I watched. I watched what they watched. That's what I watched. Predator, Terminator 2, Commando, even Last Action Hero. I liked Last Action Hero. To give a little background on Arnold, not to justify his dumb comment of what he said today. He is a Reagan Republican. At least he was. In the 80s, that's what he was. In the 80s, Reagan was beloved. Everybody loved Reagan. His second term, in his second election, he won every state except I think it was Vermont. He didn't win Vermont. But Reagan was very popular, very beloved, and Arnold Schwarzenegger was one of the people in Hollywood that really loved Reagan. Since then, he's always said he's branded himself as a Republican, conservative. And I gotta tell you, Arnold, if you're watching this video, which I know you are, Reagan would be rolling over in his grave at what you said today. He said today in regards to people saying, taking the vaccine, mask mandates, all this crap is a violation of my rights. It's a violation of my freedom. You can't mandate me to do things I don't want to do. And Arnold said, screw your freedom. Screw your freedom. Come on, Arnold. Ugh, you can't be saying that. He goes on to more justify what he's saying. So he continues, because with freedom, should I do an Arnold accent? I'll do an Arnold accent. All right. Because with freedom comes obligations and responsibilities. We cannot just say, I have the right to do X, Y, and Z. When you affect other people, that is when it gets serious. All right, I'll stop. You cannot say, no one is going to tell me that I'm going to stop here, that I have to stop at this traffic light here. I'm going to go right through it. Then you kill someone else, and then it is your doing. Okay, Arnold, no. That's a horrible analogy. And here's why. Here's why it's a horrible analogy. Driving a car is a privilege. It's not a right. And in order to drive a car, you have to go to the DMV and you take a test. In that test, you answer questions of all the rules of the road that society has agreed that these are the rules and you need to follow them. And by getting your driver's license, you are inherently saying, I am agreeing to do all of these rules. And if I don't, I understand that I'll get a ticket, I'll be fined, whatever it might be. Okay, so when you do go out on the road and you run a red light, you get a ticket. And you are agreeing that you know you'll get a ticket. You understand that this privilege can be revoked. That your license can be revoked. It can be suspended. You understand all of that when you go to get your driver license. These two analogies are not synonymous. Okay, whereas a government saying you have to be vaccinated with a mandate, no, because I'm not agreeing to that. Someone might say that you're violating my freedom. I don't want to do that, but you're making me do that. That is a violation of my freedom. I did not come to a consensus with a group of people and say I am willing to do that. Okay? Whereas if you don't agree to the terms and conditions, so to speak, of your driver license, that you agree to all these rules, you don't get the license. Thus, you don't get the privilege to drive because you are opting out. You are disagreeing to do that. See, they're not synonymous. They're very different. And so when people say it's a violation of my freedom with these mandates, they're essentially they are correct. They're not wrong. Anyway, Twitter had a field day with this. And my man Arnold, he got ratioed. He got ratioed. So let's go take a look at some of the things they said. And okay, well, we gotta check his ratio. So, boom, yeah. He says, because with freedom comes obligations and responsibilities. Like I said, pure freedom would also mean ignoring red lights, but we don't do that because it would kill our fellow citizens. 3,000, almost 3,100 comments to 1,200 likes. That is a ratio, my friends. That is a ratio you do not want to have. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at what people are saying to him here for the ratio. Oh, and by the way, just to clarify, I know I liked it, okay? Likes are not an endorsement. I liked it, so basically it would be easier to find. I could just go into Twitter, look at my likes, and find it a lot easier, okay? Likes are not an endorsement. So Michael Malice here says, if effing the maid that makes the bed you slept in with your wife was legal, would you do that? Of course not. Because with freedom, you have obligations and responsibilities. Whoo! Oh, wow. That one. Yikes. That was tough. Mike Cernovich says, the cuckinator. Regulating how people drive on public roads is one thing. Mandating we obstruct our airways with fabric is quite another. Yeah, he's on the right track there. Freedom is in the sense of the Constitution comes from the agreement between the government and the governed. Its origin is our rights. The government does not have the right to require me to get a vaccine passport to live in my life. I have the right to keep things private. Exactly. Well, that's one thing. I have the right to keep things private. That's HIPAA laws, man. I don't understand where these restaurants or concert venues or bands are getting this idea that they can demand you show proof of vaccination before going to inside a restaurant or inside a store or going to a concert. No, I don't actually have to show you that. It's 1996 HIPAA. I will show you if I consent to it, but if I don't consent to it, I don't have to prove anything to you. I don't have to show you anything about my health concerns or health records. It's not your business. John Carvalho says, no, you are describing chaos, not freedom. Freedom requires personal responsibility. Society requires mutual agreement. Making people inject themselves with a vax that doesn't work for a virus that is not more dangerous than the flu is oppression. Some people are a little a little mean but yeah, so people are just kind of roasting Arnold. Oh, I miss this Arnold. You and me both, man. You and me both. Anyways, guys, disappointing. Yeah, I don't enjoy slaying this particular hero, but it must be done. Oh, I know, man. I feel your pain, but it must be done. It must be done. I'm curious. Do you guys know anybody who's like all for mandating the poke or mask mandates or anything like that? I know a few people in my life that are like, yeah, boom, it should be done, and we get into interesting conversations about it. But I'm curious, do you guys know anybody? I'm very curious what my audience, what their findings are out there, because I know you guys are dispersed throughout the country and even the world a little bit. I actually have quite a few viewers in Canada. So checked my analytics the other day. Canada and Australia. So welcome, guys, to my channel. Anyways, guys, that's the video. If you like this video, please go down and like it. If you have not yet already, please subscribe to the channel. More content like this all the time. And as always, guys, even as crazy as this world is getting, it's time to peace out.